Hello everybody, welcome to the Comic Game Movie Show. My name is Deshaun and today I'm here to ask a question. What the fuck is going on with the Blade movie? Now, cast your mind back 5 years ago, 2019. This is when the MCU was just coming off Far From Home. We really didn't know what was going to happen. Not really. We really didn't know what was going to happen. We really didn't know what was going to go on. But back then, the Blade movie was announced. And out of nowhere, unannounced, no one saw it coming. There was no buzz about it. There was not a lot of conversation about it. It came out of nowhere. I remember it. I think it was a D23. And Kevin Feige, literally, it was just like, the Blade logo popped up and Mahershala Ali, Oscar winner Mahershala Ali came on stage to announce that he will be playing the MCU's Blade. And we all lost our shit. We had no clue. We were like, what? Like, okay, that's insane. There was no rumors of it. There was no, conversations of it. We didn't even know Marvel, the MCU, had the rights to the Blade movies yet. Well, at least they had the rights to Blade. I don't know if they have the rights to the Blade films yet, though I wouldn't be surprised if you start seeing those pop up on Disney Plus eventually. It was a huge news. Huge news. Now, we knew it was going to be a while before they got that Blade movie going. They had their plans, but, we were curious about how they were going to do it, how quickly they were going to get it out. And Mahershala Ali is obviously a great actor, one of the best actors in Hollywood today, so we were excited about it. Now, there was a lot of hubbub about his age, and that is even more bigger of a deal than it was even then now, because he's not getting any younger. He's in his, he's in his mid-50s, man, or at least I think he's in his mid-50s. But either way, at the time, huge buzz. We were curious of how they were going to do it. Now, at first, they was talking about they was going to do a Now, the movie, the rumors and the conversation about that movie has shifted so goddamn much. And mostly because so much in the MCU has been just shifting and turning, and they're trying to figure out and course correct and figure out the direction they want to go, and they still haven't done an Avengers. You can believe that? It has been almost 6 years since the last Avengers movie. That's so crazy. That something that used to happen at least every 3 years now has been 6. But I digress. So much has shifted, so much has changed. The direction, characters, they've lost directors. And at first, the movie was going to be PG-13. Now, I thought they could do PG-13, particularly because I had been, what did I watch the other day? Obviously, I watched some the older, the Spider-Man cartoon show, and I watched something else too, obviously, and what was that movie came out, Five Nights at Freddy's kind of showed that you can still do the horror thing, PG-13. And I saw other films do the PG-13 horror. So I was like, I think you can pull it off. Plus, all you would have to do, at least in my opinion, is just make the vampires not humanoid. In Marvel Comics, vampires don't look like normal people. They look weird. In fact, most of the time, they're like shadow creatures, dude. They're not even flesh and blood. They're not flesh and blood. Only Dracula and a couple of the higher vampires actually look like people. So I was like, you know what? They can pull this off PG-13. Either make the vampire blood black or something. There's so many ways around it. You saw Werewolf by Night get around it by making it black and white, so they could have buckets of gore because it's in black and white. So there's ways around the making something hard R. And I was like, okay, they can figure this out. They can pull this off. We'll see what they do. But then they lost one director. They lost a writer. They just recently lost another director. Then it came out that this movie was going to be a period piece, and we're like, okay, cool. It's going to take place back in the day. We're obviously going with the idea that Blade, as a half vampire, he doesn't age as quickly as normal people, so he could have been killing vampires for whoever knows how long. Then that changed too. So so much has happened, and then it was saying that half of it's going to be a period piece, but then half of it's going to take place in modern time. Then there was rumors that the Black Knight, who showed up, who we didn't really get a good glimpse of. We haven't seen Kit Harington in his full Black Knight gear. We did see the sword at the end of Eternals, but we didn't get to, we didn't really get into that. So there was a hint of that because Mahershala Ali's voice was at the end of that, of Eternals in that post-credit scene. But so we never really. So there was rumors that it was going to be Mahershala and and Black Knight, which I guess I get the idea being like these are two people who both they're both swordsmen, they both deal with the supernatural, so I kind of got what they were going there. But now that's not happening. This story has been rewritten. They have lost directors, they have lost writers. I'm hearing shit like they have made complete full sets. There's like Tom Foreman talking, if you look it up, apparently they had already built sets, dude. They built a whole train set for a sequence they're gonna do that now it's not gonna be done. There's so much, but now, and it was gonna, and even this, it was gonna be $150 million movie, like the rest of the MCU films. But after the failures, particularly of Ms. Marvel and Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania, and just the up and down, the inconsistent response to the MCU, things have shifted, and now Blade is going to be R-rated. Now, not only is it going to be R-rated, but the budget has been basically cut in half. It's going to be an $80 million movie, you know, which apparently the Marvel strategy, which is smart on them, is basically, they're going to do R-rated movies outside of Deadpool, they're gonna hedge their bets, and they're not gonna put as much money, not as much money into it, but they're not gonna, because this Blade movie went from 150 million to 80 million. That's a big decrease. But then again, a Blade movie shouldn't need 150 million. I mean, it's a dude killing a bunch of vampires with a sword, but I understand, because you have to make that work, right? I feel like that's been the biggest hurdle, is trying to make this supernatural aspect of the MCU work. Because in the comics, there's so much. There's space, there's supernatural, there's the Earth-based stuff, there's the past stuff, there's period piece stuff. It's just like in DC. There's stuff all over, and trying to make because the question always is going to occur, okay, if all this supernatural shit was going on, then why come we haven't seen it? How come no one's really touched upon it yet? And the obvious answer is because they didn't know they were going to get this far. The MCU has become so big, and things haven't gone the way they wanted it to go too. I guarantee you, because think about it, Avengers, the Avengers movies are supposed to have come out. They're supposed to be either they're supposed to have come out or be on their way to coming out. Marvel's supposed to be, a well-oiled machine on its way to a destination right now. Right now, it's on its way there. We don't know how we're gonna get there. Things are shifting. We got different departments and shit now. Obviously, they got Marvel Searchlight, which is what Blade will be under, because it'll be an R-rated movie. It's gonna be R-rated, and they've already lost a couple of the cast members. So far, the only two people who are still there are Mahershala Ali and I can't remember her name. She's from that movie X and a couple other movies. She's kind of a rising star, but I can't remember her name up top of my head. But she's a great actress. So, and they're saying she was gonna play a vampire. So I'm still tentatively excited, but as of right now, they don't have a writer. They're still searching for a director. They're searching for a new director. They're searching for a new writer. They're trying to have this thing up and operational by midsummer. I don't know what's going on with this movie, dude. It's a lot. All the other movies have had shit. There's rumors about Captain America, Brave New World having a lot of baggage, having a lot of shit being reshot, and there's a lot of rumors about that. But nothing like this Blade thing, a movie they announced 5 years ago that they still don't even have a story right now. From what I've heard, from what I've seen, they're saying that they know what they want to do now. They officially know what they want to do. And the thing I think that was the problem, once again, is they were trying to make this fit in the MCU, right? They were trying to connect it and whatnot. And I think this Blade movie is going to end up being more of a standalone, which it probably should be. I think this Blade movie is going to end up probably being mostly a standalone. It's going to be mostly inconsequential. I'm talking about to the bigger MCU, it's going to be mostly a standalone. And maybe they, like I say, it's got to be the reaction, because they're trying to rejigger shit and figure out what they want to do, and then moving movies here and then moving dates back, and Bob Iger's making edicts that he doesn't want to release but so much content because he thinks that it was content overload, which I agree with. It was Marvel content overload. So they're trying to pull back. They're trying to figure out different ways to approach the projects. It's a lot going on at Marvel Studios. It's a lot, dude. They got a lot of projects. They got a lot of IP, right now. Nobody else is, doing the kind of shit they're doing. So the Blade movie is getting kind of lost in the shuffle. Also, there are rumors, conversations, and stuff about Mahershala Ali's attitude. I mean, someone said something along the lines of he sees this movie as his Black Panther. And he see like that's what he sees this movie as. So he's still deeply invested in this movie, but he has more of a hand in this movie, in the creation of this movie, than I think any other actor has on one of these projects. Like coming in, like you never heard shit like that about like I don't know Paul Rudd on the Ant-Man. Actually, Paul Rudd was very involved in the writing, creating of the original Ant-Man movie. But I digress. Like you know, like he seems so hands-on on this project, because from what we're hearing, the reason the director left is because because him and Mahershala Ali were conflicting over the direction of where they wanted to go with this movie. So you got the star of the movie having conflict with the director leaves. I mean, this is nuts, dude. There's a lot going on with this movie, and at this point, as great as Mahershala Ali is, he's not getting any younger. This movie ain't gonna come out at least for another 2 years. I don't know, man. I might start thinking about recasting. Like, I would genuinely start thinking about recasting, because at this point, Mahershala Ali isn't getting any younger, and he seems to really be in the weeds in the creation of this movie, to the point where he's getting in fights with the directors and leaving. This Blade movie's a mess, man. Like, I'm hoping for the best. I really am. I love the Blade franchise. I've said this many, many times before. When I was growing up as a kid, there wasn't a lot of black heroes. There wasn't a lot of black heroes in general, like in film and whatnot, in film and television. And two movies were really stuck out to me was the Blade movie and Bad Boys, but Blade in particular. And another thing, beyond that, I'd never seen a movie where it's kind of a horror movie, but the horror creatures are getting their ass kicked. So I was like, oh man, this is two things. This is a black superhero, and it's a black superhero fucking up vampires? Doesn't get any better than this. I mean, that movie was so influential, as many people will point out. That movie had a big thing to do with Marvel being seen as a thing that could be done. Marvel superhero movies. You would get X-Men and Spider-Man and things of that nature after this, but Blade was really the first one. The first big, black superhero to be on screen. So this movie really does have a lot to live up to. Wesley Snipes set the bar very high. And for a movie like this to have so much, already lofty ambitions and already, huge shoes to fill, for it to have this much shit going on, it's sad. It's sad. I'm hoping things work out. Maybe they'll get Jordan Peele or something. The door's open for them to really do something here with this movie. To really, go into the supernaturalness. Like Moon Knight and Werewolf by Night kind of really touched it, but Blade really could bring it home. And it'll be the first proper MCU rated R movie. Because Deadpool, I don't really count. Because it's like, well, what the fuck were you going to do? It ain't broke, don't fix it. Why would you fuck with something that already made money? Why would you do that? This would be Marvel making the conscious decision to make a bloody vampire movie. And I'm curious about how that's going to turn out. But anyways, comment below. What do you think is going on with this Blade movie? It has been a lot of baggage. And I'm hoping things come together, but I don't fucking know. Anyways, thank you guys for joining the Comment Movie Show. Please remember to like and subscribe. Oh yeah, also comment below. Who should direct this movie? Who should be the director of the Blade movie? Comment below. Let me know. Thank you guys again. See you on the next one.